Portrait photographers are used to using soft boxes. A lot of them might use umbrellas. But in fashion photography, one of the most utilized tools is called a beauty dish. And this is a beauty dish, and they come in different sizes. They have different effects on the inside. Basically, the one that I use, it's 22 inches, and it's white in the inside. What's great about a beauty dish is it's kind of a cross between a harsh light and a soft light. So for example, you'll get more defined shadows than you would get with a softbox. A softbox is going to wrap light around the face. It's going to be more defined than a softbox. So actually have those defined shadows, but it's not harsh like if you use one of the little silver reflector dishes or another harsh light. So it's defined but soft, it's flattering, it's used all the time in catalogs, in beauty campaigns, cosmetic campaigns, and it's just great for giving that little fashion flair feel. So they're usually not too expensive. The white in the inside, when you get white, it's a little bit softer than if you get silver. Silver is going to give you a more contrasty image. It'll give you more specular highlights, darker shadows. If you think that the white isn't soft enough, let's say you don't like silver, you like the white, but you want it even softer, you want softer shadows, you want it to be more even, you can get something called a sock, and it's basically a piece of diffusion material that fits over the beauty dish, and it pulls it even more in the direction of a softbox. So it's even softer highlights and shadows. It wraps more. And you know what? Usually for me, if I'm going to go for soft light, I would just use a softbox. But let's say you can only afford one light, or you only have one light available. You can do a lot with the beauty dish, especially if you have that sock, if you want it to get softer. So I'm going to do a couple really basic techniques for beauty, and then what I'm going to do is what I call kind of one of my signature techniques. It's on my business card. It's been in several fashion editorials that I've done. It's that beautiful porcelain skin that's really creamy and white and smooth, filled in light everywhere, glowing, and then bright red. So basically, the image that's on my business card, and you can see in a lot of editorials, we're going to do our own version here. But I'm going to start first with basic beauty light. All right, so you ready? Ready. All right, so I'm just going to shoot a basic shot, just like that. And looking at the shot, there's some nice little bit of shadow underneath the nose. That's nice. I want it to define. For somebody who has beautiful jawline and cheekbones, what I'll do a lot is I will raise the light up high. And you can see a lot of times people have, when I see people shoot with beauty dish, a lot of times they have it lower and from the front because it's nice and glowing. But when you raise the light up, what it does is it's giving you an angle downwards, and look straight ahead for me. It's giving you an angle downwards. So can you see how it casts a shadow underneath the cheek and underneath the jaw? So what it's doing is it's taking those beautiful features that she has and really emphasizing them. It's carving out the cheekbones and the jawline. So that's why sometimes I'll raise the light up too high. What tends to happen then, if you get too high, you start to get shadows in the eyes. So if you want really dramatic, you might do that, but you might then add a little bit of fill underneath. So it adds a little bit more sparkle to the eyes, but still emphasizes the beautiful features she has. The name that I've kind of assigned to the signature technique I have is beauty box. It's when I'm boxing the subject in with fill cards and flooding the whole scene with light. And so what it does is it gives kind of an even lighting across the face. And then when I go into Photoshop, it lets me get really creamy complexion and pop those reds, increase the contrast, and give me that signature graphic effect that I like. So what I have is the same thing as before with the beauty dish here, but now I've added two lights just kind of blasting the background. I turn them all the way up. When you're putting the light on the background, you just want to make sure that you're not getting lens flare. It's not wrapping around the body. I just want it to be white, not so much that it's, have you ever seen the effect when you overexpose and it goes through the hair? It actually makes the hair look kind of crunchy. You just want to watch for that. Just adjust the lights. I do use light meters, but this is not a class about using light meters. It's not a class about exposure. Just get it right. If it looks right, it's right. That's my opinion. If the client likes it, it's right. It doesn't matter what rules you're breaking. If the exposure looks good for the camera in front for the final print, I'm happy. Especially since in fashion photography they break rules all the time. So I'm going to take that same shot that we did before, just with the beauty dish there, and the two lights in the background, so you can take a look at what it looks like with the white lights in the back. So I'm just going to do a horizontal shot, I think. I think that's how I want to do these. So I'm going to have you turn back that way just a little bit. Good, just like that. Good. And perfect. Let's see. Looks great. There's a little bit, when you look at this, because of the angle of light, it's a little bit dark under the chin. And what I'm going for is nice, glowing, even light. So the first thing I'll do is grab a fill card, and I'm actually going to pass it to the subject and put it, just have you hold it. Hold it right there. Good. And then just make sure if you pass this fill card, they're not lifting their shoulders up. Keep the shoulders relaxed. So just like that. All right, so I'll take this first, and you're going to see that I've filled in a bit of the light underneath the chin. Looks good so far. But because I really want just even glowing light everywhere, I'm going to bring in 2 more fill cards. And these literally are, what, $2.99 I think at AC Moore, Michaels. It's just foam core, just white pieces of foam core. You can get them anywhere. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to shoot that. Take a look there. Perfect. And what it does is it fills in the light on the left, on the right, and underneath her chin. If you want to take this beauty box effect and do a full-length shot, those little fill cards aren't going to do it for you. You need something a little bit bigger. And so here what we have are full-length, huge, something that we call V-folds or V-flats. Another name for them are bookends. If you live in a city, there's a lot of different places that you can get them. You can get them online. Usually what I do is I do research, figure out where it is in the city. A lot of times if you talk to a video rental or a camera rental store or location, they'll let you know where you can get a hold of one. So I have them so that there's white on either side. And what the white's going to do is it's going to capture the light here and bounce it back in. And it's also going to capture light from the background and bounce it in. So it'll give you that nice, even effect. A couple other things you want to consider when doing full length is right now when I shoot, if the light is close to her, how I think of it is light's almost like water in a bucket. So if I'm close and I throw the bucket, it hits kind of a narrow area. But when I back up and throw that same bucket, it spreads more over the entire person. So if the light is a little bit too concentrated on the face and it's too dark down the body, what I can do is I can back the light up. So I'm backing that bucket up, gives me more dispersion of the water of the light. So that's what I'll probably do. Instead of having the light so close as it was before, I'll back it up a little, makes the light a little bit more even. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add an awesome prop. And I'll tell you about that in one sec after I back the light up. Give it a couple tests. A little, oh dear. Let's see if I can. Okay, let me test this. I've switched to a 24 to 70 millimeter because now I'm shooting full length, so maybe I don't want to have to back up with my 70 to 200. I can shoot someplace around here and still get my full length shots. Take a look. That's actually perfect. Looks beautiful. So now what I'm going to do is add a prop. And this comes into the concept of fashion flair. So we've talked all along about if you are doing this as a professional photographer perhaps and you're trying to sell this to your clients, sell them an experience, tell them that you're creating a piece of art, a story about them or creating some kind of story in there, something that you might want to do is find out about your clients. What's important to them? What are their hobbies? One thing you might do is find out if they have any pets. When I picture pet photography or people posing with pets, I think of somebody in the park with their arm around their dog. It's cute, but it doesn't have that much personality. It's not telling a lot of a story. So in this instance, maybe I can dress her up like this and add a cute little pet as her prop. So here we have Esteban, and he has a little scarf on, and what we're going to do is in Photoshop, when I do that effect where I make her skin look a little more pale, pop the reds, I'll actually make his scarf red so the two of them match. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some cute shots up close, then I'll have her kind of channel her attitude like, the dog is her prop and she's carrying it along with her. So I'll do some cute ones, adorable, just like that. Perfect. All right. And give me a really softer, you can use both hands for a sec. Use softer hands on the top. Yeah, just real soft. And then put that other hand a little bit lower. Okay, just like, yep, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, something like that. So soft hands, good. Try that. I'm going to back up, do another full length. Oh, little puppy. Okay, so I'm going to try one where you can hold both, but hold them a little lower. So maybe hold him a little on this side, and just only do what's comfortable. If he feels like he's going to fall, just whatever. That's perfect. And then turn a little bit that way so I can see his face Perfect, just like that. Good little doggy. Good. And hand on your hip for one. Exactly, so that, for me, channels your Paris Hilton with her little dog. Nobody can mess with her. Look right at me and head there. Esteban! Esteban, look over here. Good, baby. Good. It's hilarious. I think that's perfect. He looks so, so happy. Let me get one shot of him. Bring him up for one more really close. There we go. And look right at me. Good baby. Good puppy. Awesome. All right, so that is using my Fashion Flair technique, what I call beauty box, for evening out the light, for giving that pop of red, and then in the end, fixing it in Photoshop so that you have kind of a porcelain look. But now we add a prop, so it's not just about her being beautiful, about the props, about the colors, but also about her adorable dog, Esteban. Oh.